Welcome back to NewsMakers. We are with Sharon Torstonson, Garry Jackson and Yani Johanson. It's been 3 weeks since handheld cell phones and texting while driving was outlawed. 3 weeks on, are motorists making the change? Are the roads safer, or do we have to go further and get rid of the hands-free kits as well? How do you see it, Sharon?
I think commerce would grind to a halt if we got rid of the hands-free kits. How do tradespeople, people who work from their vehicles, actually communicate? Not to mention, how do the police communicate?
Well, they've probably got an exemption, have they?
Well, if it's not dangerous for them, why is it dangerous for the rest of us?
Gary, how do you see it?
I think it is dangerous. Like everyone else, I guess, I have been one who's used my cell phone regularly in the car since November the 1st. I haven't. I've changed the message service on my phone to say I can't answer the phone because I might be driving, and I am not going to pick up a hands-free kit, because if it's actually dangerous to use a phone in the car, and it probably is, then I shouldn't use it at all. Well,
it's interesting that both AA and Consumer New Zealand have come out in the last week or so saying these hands-free kits are not as benign as is being made out. What do you think?
Oh, well, that's right. I mean, there's a whole bunch of distractions people have when they're in their car. You see people putting on their lipstick, shaving, changing the stereo, putting a CD in.
That's just all you.
All those sorts of... Well, that's just me, you know, getting up in the morning, getting ready to go to council. But, you know, there's a lot of things that distract people while they're driving. I think it does make sense to minimise distraction, try and make our roads safer. I tend to agree that the idea of having a conversation while you're driving, that thought process is probably something that is distracting and does need to be changed. Okay. And I think it'll take a while for people to get used to it. I know, you know, habits take a long time to break, but I think it is a positive move for this country.
Well, last Saturday will go down in the annals of New Zealand sport as a very golden occasion, and we continue to glow over the All Whites breaking through to the FIFA World Cup finals once again. Have you been swept up by this, Garry?
I was sitting in Changi Airport in Singapore on my way home from China, and I got a text from my daughter, and it was, I guess, about midnight New Zealand time as I was about to get on the plane, saying that the All Whites had won, and I said, yes, that's great. So, yeah, I wasn't swept up in the sense of watching the game, but I think great result for football in New Zealand, and a good result for New Zealand all round.
It's nice to have a morale booster for the country, isn't it, Sharon?
Absolutely. I'm not a big sports fan, but I was rapt. I think it's just fabulous, and I think it'll do us all a great deal of good. And I'm really glad my brother-in-law's come back from Australia so he can sit with my husband and swear at the ref with him.
It's interesting what's going to come for rugby in the coming year, because we've got the World Cup finals in June, July, which sort of was roughly the same time as the Tri-Nations. Are people going to care about the Tri-Nations next year?
Oh, I mean, first off, I went up to Wellington for the game. It was absolutely fantastic. The atmosphere, the level of exuberance that people had, all in good humour, good nature, fun, cheering. It was fantastic. So I think rugby needs to be careful. I went to some of the rugby games this season. Absolutely dull, absolutely boring, no atmosphere, and I think people are becoming a little bit fed up with, I think, the arrogance of some people within rugby circles, thinking that we're just going to embrace them. And I tell you, I think it'll be great for the country. The number of soccer players is going to increase, and soccer is only going to become more popular as a result. All
right, now I'll give you 30 seconds apiece for free shots. Anyone you want to give a plug to and a poke at from the week that has been. Mr. Jackson.
I'm not really sure I follow the news closely enough, Mike, but I guess the soccer team, in terms of a bouquet, I mean, obviously they have done so well, the All Whites, Ricky Herbert, the whole team, so I have to recognise that. Nice. In terms of a brickbat, or whatever you would call it, the news item of yesterday's paper about the guy that was sitting on the branch of the tree, cut it off and fell off, and cannabis, and then after all of that, through the employment relations process, which is where I'm going to throw where I'm throwing the brick, that really troubles me in terms of where this country lies today and where it's going.
I've got about 10 seconds. Sharon?
My brickbat and bouquet would be good cop, bad cop. Bad cop, that's sleaze who used his position to get free sex. Good cop for the police that took it seriously and prosecuted.
Nice.
Good one.
Nice and efficient as well, Sharon. Now, Yani, you've got 20 seconds.
Very quickly, the people that are out doing the street appeal for the Samoa and Tonga victims of the tsunami, hats off to them. They're doing a great job. The collection's on today, on Friday. And also another bouquet to the Bone Marrow Cancer Trust for the Bachelor auction last night. All the people and supporters and sponsors that attended and raised a lot of money for a very good cause.
Yes, and how much did you generate?
I was auctioned off for $600.
That's not bad. It's not bad. Did Bob Parker buy you? No.
No, might have bought me to shoot me, but I think he bought me to go out for dinner.
Now, the pick of the week is a reminder that life is not always fair and even and equal. This image would have to personify the word mismatch. Look at that. Isn't that just extraordinary? This was a real boxing bout recently in Asia. There you go. To the Newsmakers poll, last week's question, should the Māori Party expel Hone Harawira? 84% of you said yes, which would have to be one of the most emphatic responses we've ever had. The prize winner was D. Worsley. This week's question, should all citizens-initiated referenda be made binding? We'll throw it over to you. This is not a binding vote, by the way, that you'll be participating in. Yes or no? Email newsmakers@ctv.co.nz, vote on the web, mikeyardley.com, or use postman Pat, PO Box 1100 Christchurch. Do so and you'll be in to win these very nice festive treats, the absolute best Christmas album in the world, and the finest, freshest coffee from Cafe La Fare. Good luck. Thank you very much to our panel, Yani Johanson, Sharon Torstonson, and Mayor Garry Jackson. Have a great weekend. Go the All Blacks against the Poms. See you next week. Good night.